I know our executive producer, Miles Smith, spent a long time putting together a package on some of the highlights of the year, that some of the stories that made headlines here in the Valley. I'm not sure if we have time to run that. Miles, do you know if we have time to run that story? Okay, let's run that story right now. Some of the stories that rocked our world, made us laugh, made us cry, some of the best moments, best headlines from 2010.
We got an officer down inside the FBI building. Roll medical exit.
Unbelievable.
66-year-old Johnny Lee Wicks, dressed in dark clothing and wearing a trench coat, entered the building, pulled a shotgun from underneath his jacket, and started shooting.
Just 2 days ago, this wash was bone dry. Now it's a raging river and doing exactly what it was designed to do.
When times are tough, you tighten your belts. You don't go buying a boat when you can barely pay your mortgage. You don't blow a bunch of cash on Vegas when you're trying to save for college. You prioritize. You make tough choices.
He has a real psychological hang-up about the entertainment capital of the world. And an apology won't be acceptable this time. I don't know where his vendetta comes from, but we're not going to let him make his bones by lambasting Las Vegas.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
There it is, the Nevada State Assembly launching into action and running through a huge list of ideas for how to balance the budget. Just after 2 o'clock this morning, Assembly Speaker Barbara Buckley brought the gavel down on perhaps the most distressing episode in the history of Nevada state government.
They're not listening to the American people, period.
The showdown in Searchlight on Saturday is the first stop in a 44-stop tour in 23 cities. The goal, the Tea Party wants voters to vote key Democrats out of office.
Did a drug maker's greed for bigger profits lead medical workers to misuse their product?
The 50 ml vials are never in the operating room, never in any procedure room.
They literally set the trap. Without them selling these vials that were too large to these endoscopy centers, there would have been no opportunity to multidose, and there would have been no opportunity for people to be infected.
The jury awarded Channon and his wife $5.1 million in compensatory damages.
We, the jury, in the above entitled matter, find the defendant, James Michael Vila, guilty of count 4, murder in the first degree, of Rihanna Zunino Dennison.
2002, 2004, the turnout was 25% in the primary election. 2006, it was 27%. And I think we're right on track for a turnout of somewhere around 25% again.
We have completed the first step to taking back our U.S. Senate.
It's crazy. It's like some 2012 crazy stuff. You don't see that happen out here. We don't have earthquakes or any natural disasters. It's just crazy.
I noticed the person who got shot sort of turned towards us after he's been shot, and you could see.
That image one David DeHaan says he will never forget. On Saturday, DeHaan says he was standing about 40 feet behind Eric Scott outside of this Costco store. There have been conflicting witness accounts as to whether or not Eric Scott pointed his gun at a Metro police officer.
I feel almost like I have to start over at times. It's very difficult, and I keep thinking he's going to walk in. But the example he gave me in life is the most enduring thing to me.
Kenny Gwynn, more than anything else, was a centered man of strong personal values who was an eternal optimist. Each and every day during his governorship, he truly believed our state was the greatest state in the Union and that its best days were always ahead.
I came by to check on her last night, and you know, she had a couple of drinks, was sad. I came by to check on her now, and she's dead.
The call made from inside the Henderson home of LPGA golfer Erica Blasberg.
What's going on there?
I need to report a suicide.
The official cause of death, specifically to how the injury occurred or how this incident occurred, was consumed prescription drugs and placed a plastic bag overhead and sealed it.
There's no room for us to operate a medical marijuana facility like this. Basically what they want us to be doing is going to the drug dealers on the corners and supporting them, where we should have something structured here where we pay taxes, where the state's making money like they should be making the money. And it's a bad thing here in Vegas.
The death was justified, and it was signed by all 7 jurors, Your Honor.
It wasn't the ruling Eric Scott's family was hoping to hear, yet they admit they weren't surprised. Even before the 6-day hearing began, they had doubts the inquest would answer questions about their son's death, let alone discern whether police action was appropriate.
He's made some eye contact last night, so he's aware that we're here, but at the moment he's not awake.
Colleen Talley remains strong, talking about the accident that could have very well taken the life of her 17-year-old son, Alex Lamson, a senior at Snow Canyon High School near St. George, Utah, struck by lightning along with his best friend, Christopher Dane Zadunich.
We know how to win, and we know how to lose. And we've done this graciously.
The bell that just rang isn't the end of the fight. It's the start of the next round.
Let's vote, please. Motion carries.
So Zappos will sign a lease agreement that will keep them here at this facility for at least 10 years.
Finding her, that's my duty, it's my job.
Armed with a stack of missing person flyers, Celeste Flores Narvaez is determined to find her sister.
I don't care how depressed she would be. Dancing cheered her up. Plain and simple.
When fans filled Sam Boyd Stadium, where the Las Vegas Bowl took place, fans who didn't let the rain soak their team's spirit.
I got sweater on, 3 shirts, my jeans, with my Vans soaking wet, can't feel my feet, but it's okay. Going for Yale, Utah, all day.